Yeah, I mean, a big one. I mean, '08 absolutely kicked my butt. I lost everything in '08 and had to start all over again. So, I mean, that was probably the biggest adjustment I've ever had to make. I went from, owning about a $40 million portfolio to, the down here in Florida and losing the majority of it during that first year of the down cycle, and lost my personal credit, bank accounts got garnished, lost my personal residence, basically about as bad as it could potentially get. I still had my health, still had my wits, still had my brain, but everything else was really in the toilet at that point.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Super excited to be here today. Listen, I have someone who's been in been in the industry for 25 years. So that means this guy, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And so I need you to get your pens and pads ready. Maybe you got your notepad on your iPhones, but I really want you to listen in because I know he's going to use some really, really good information. And like I like to say, I always like to get particular people lenses. And I'm so glad to have him here to be able to get his perspective. His business has grown within the last 5 years. Like, this is just going to be just an incredible conversation. And so I am so excited to bring on the stage Mr. Kevin Bupp. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, Quinn, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me here.
Man, absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. Just like I said, I'm glad just to get things from your lens, from your perspective. And so, Mr. Kevin, I don't want my voice to be the predominant voice. I want you to be able to talk from your experience to enlighten our audience. And so, if you don't mind, take us into your world. Let us know what your main focus is these days. Let us know what markets you're operating in and any other information you feel we can share just to lay this foundation of the conversation.
Yeah, sure thing. So, again, Kevin Bupp, as you'd referenced, I've been at this now 26 years, bought my first rental property, at the age of 20. I'm now 46. And I'm the CIO of Sunrise Capital Investors. We're a private equity firm that specializes in two different asset classes, one being mobile home parks and the other being parking. So think parking garages, parking lots, and mostly in major cities. And so, been at this quite some time, have a lot of fun with what we do. We got a great team behind us, been able to, grow the business from literally one house way back at the age of 20 to today. We own and operate about 400 million of actual assets inside of our portfolio. And again, yeah, having a lot of fun doing it, man. So again, I've always joked, I've never had a real job. About the closest I got was I attended bar for a couple of years back in my, when I was 18, 19, going into 20. And then I found, real estate, or real estate found me, I should say. And ultimately, it was the thing that I saw as the opportunity, as the big idea, the big plan. And I just went all in and used some of that money I saved up bartending to buy that first rental property. And that's where it all kicked off, man. That was up. I know I talked to you about that. I live down in Florida now, but that was up in Pennsylvania, not too far from where you live, Quentin, Harrisburg, PA. And so, yeah, no, it's been a fun ride.
I love it, man. I love it. Look, you said I bought that first piece of property and I ain't never looked back.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I absolutely love it. Well, Mr. Kevin, I had several real jobs, so I envy you there a little bit. But it's I mean, you have some amazing things going on. It's not always easy in this climate, so I guess my question would be, what keeps that machine running smoothly, Mr. Kevin?
Yeah, no, it's never. I don't think being an entrepreneur, or being a business owner, there's never a super smooth time, right? Like there's always challenges, always barriers, always problems that need solved, right? And sometimes more than others. Some of them are more expansive than others, but I think for me, our business has been an evolution over many years, and there was a period of time where it was just me, right? And then there was a period of time where it was me and maybe an assistant, and then maybe a few more people on the team. Today, our team looks very different than what it did back, 15 years ago when I was kind of running the show. Today, we've got an incredibly talented team behind us. Our leadership team is absolutely brilliant. So, really, what we have done to try to keep things running smoothly is try to hire and surround ourselves with people that are smarter than us. And I say we. That means myself, my business partner Brian Spear. He's the CEO of the organization. I'm the CIO. We both basically steer the ship. But we don't do it alone. We brought on people that help direct the entirety of the organization, people that have done it before, people that have grown multi-billion-dollar companies, organizations inside our respective fields, and have seen way more than we have been at it longer than we have, and can help us navigate the uncertainty that comes about, help us navigate it much more efficiently. Because again, uncertainty and challenging times are always going to happen. It's just do you have the wherewithal? Do you have someone that maybe someone that can guide you, that's been there and done that, right? Because
Yeah.
everything happens to you first time, right? After that, hopefully you learned and you can navigate it better the second time around. But there's a lot of challenges we face on a regular basis at the company that I've not dealt with yet before, and it's great to have that guidance from not just mentors, but even folks that are on our team that are helping us steer the ship in the right direction, keep it away from the icebergs.
Yeah, I love it. I've been working on a saying that, and you let me know if this makes sense. But I always say, "Can't nobody teach you experience, but experience teaches you." Like
Absolutely.
And so, and when I hear you, you say, "Listen, if it happened to you once, hopefully you can learn from it." But that's the experience that you need to be able to overcome it and be able to get through the next thing that comes through, right?
Yeah,
You put the pieces together and
absolutely.
say, okay, this happened there. Okay, how can I pivot? And so that kind of brings me to my next question. You said it best. Things get real when you're an entrepreneur. Like, deals go sideways. There's times when you have to pivot fast. And so, Mr. Kevin, is there a story maybe you can share with our audience about a specific time when you had to pivot fast or you had to kind of make an adjustment on the fly?
Yeah, I mean, a big one. I mean, '08 absolutely kicked my butt. I lost everything in '08 and had to start all over again. So, I mean, that was probably the biggest adjustment I've ever had to make. I went from, owning about a $40 million portfolio to, the down here in Florida, and losing the majority of it during that first year of the down cycle, and lost my personal credit, bank accounts got garnished, lost my personal residence, basically about as bad as it could potentially get. I still had my health, still had my wits, still had my brain, but everything else was really in the toilet at that point. And so, I had to make it pushed me into a really challenging number of years, to where I had to find a way to claw my way back out. Now with really bad credit, with liens and judgments against me, and trying to find a pathway back out. And so, um, and the pivot really came, I tried to reflect back on, again, what I had done historically, what worked, what didn't work. And I came to the realization that in order to
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
rebuild this thing the second time around, even build it more stout. I needed the team is everything, right? And it's really difficult when you're small and you're just getting started, actually be able to have enough revenue to even like hire a team, hire the right people. And so I knew the second time around, I wanted to go bigger, meaning like bigger scale properties so that we could get higher revenue out of the gate and so that we could afford to actually hire people to help us grow the infrastructure in the organization. It's hard to do that with one house at a time. And so that was a big pivot for us is basically starting over again with nothing, but then saying, hey, we're going to do bigger projects than what we had historically done. We're not going to look at maybe $200,000 properties. We're going to look at $2 million or $20 million properties and go bigger. Don't know how yet. Don't know. It's going to be challenging. My credit sucks. I don't have a good, again, trying to rebuild, lost it all. And this is way back now, my second time around, I didn't buy that first property until 2012. So from 2008 to 2012, I didn't buy anything. It was damage control. It was chaotic. It was dark times. It was rough. But I bought the first, basically what came, turned into what Sunrise is today. I bought the first mobile home park back in 2012. Figured out a way to cobble it together. Convinced a private lender to lend me some money. That it was a great idea. I couldn't sign on the loan because my credit was so bad. I was not of a value to him. And actually, so I coerced a family member to actually sign on the loan on my behalf so that I could get that first deal done, and took the little bit of money I had left, and took a risk and took a chance, and it started all over again. And so that was the biggest pivotal moment. And that became the foundation of what we've been able to build today. And I put my heart and soul into that. That property had to work. It was my last ditch effort. I had a little bit of money. Again, nothing else to really back me. I was literally, anyway, home literally had gotten taken away, and I had to figure out a pathway forward. So that was the biggest pivotal moment in my life. That wasn't a period of like a month. It was a period of a couple of years. But it turned me it helped us grow and build the business that we have, which I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of the team. I'm proud of our core values. I'm proud of what we stand for. And I don't know what it would look like today if that hadn't happened to me, right? Like it forced me to change my direction. Don't get me wrong, it was dark and it sucked. But I wouldn't change it now for anything. It just taught me to, what it forced me to do is those first couple of deals, it forced me to be really creative. No one would lend to me. I mean, a bank won't lend to me. I wasn't lendable at that point. So it really forced me to be creative and structure creative deals that worked for me, that we could get our foot back in the door and actually do a couple of deals, make some money, prove our concept, and over time rebuild my credit so that at some point I can maybe go get a bank loan. Now today I'm proud to say I can go get bank loans, and things are a lot better. But those first couple of years were really challenging.
Mr. Kevin, wow, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your honesty. Thank you so much for your transparency. That was an amazing story, and I know that's going to resonate with so many people. That was resonating with me as she was talking. I was just like, "Oh, this is incredible." And so, again, thank you for your honesty. That really, to me, stories like that separates the folks from the people that just dabble to the people that's in it for the long term. When you get knocked down, you be able to get back up. And to me, that just shows the perseverance. And my favorite word is stick to itiveness. I love saying that word, that it just shows that within you and within what you do. And so I appreciate you for saying, I really do. Let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next? Like, what's the next real goal for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if it's one specific thing. Our focus, like I said, is mobile home parks and parking. We're really we're focused on both those asset classes, but there's a unique opportunity that's happening in the parking space right now, that's allowing us to really grow that side of our organization. Mobile home parks makes up about 80% of what we have in our portfolio. And we have great parking assets. It was an area in our business where we've been buying like one a year for the last 5 years.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And so, and as it relates, everyone probably at least has read a headline in the past year about office. Workers maybe returning to office, but not to a pace of what it looked like prior to COVID. There's lots of vacancies in office buildings. There's office buildings trading in prime markets like San Francisco, LA, Philadelphia, you name it, right? There's all the major cities across the country, and these things are trading at pennies on the dollar now because they have a lot of vacancies. Well, a lot of those office buildings are in the best locations in any respective city you go to. And so what we've found an opportunity in is a lot of those office buildings have a parking garage associated with them. And sometimes it's not even connected. It's just right next door, right? We don't want the office, but we found an opportunity basically finding the motivation, the stress sellers of these office buildings and separating out the parking, buying the piece that still makes sense, still makes money, has a demand, and leaving them with the office, which I don't know what they're going to do with. Or, there's a plan for a lot of these office buildings. It's just not our business model. We want the parking because it works, and we've been able to buy some great parking assets recently, and we've got some great ones under contract now. So we're really putting some jet fuel behind that part of our business right now. And outside of that, outside of just growing, kind of our assets under management, as we've built our team out, you go from being a team of myself and a partner and then maybe a team of 10 or 15 people. When you're 10 or 15 people, what everyone's still doing with inside the organization. I mean, there's intimate contact on a regular basis. Now we've got multiple layers of kind of hierarchy throughout the organization. And number one, it's very difficult to stay, in direct contact with everybody. It's impossible actually. But what you really have to be good at is putting systems and processes in place, standard operating procedures. And so we have grown probably by about two or 3x in size of the organization the past 3 or 4 years. And so we've been putting a heavy emphasis on building a more sound infrastructure so everyone can operate kind of like the operating system for the business itself. And it's kind of you build it as you fly the plane. I mean, there's no way to build it and have it ready. We hire and we continue building and evolving as time goes on, but big focus there.
Absolutely. No, that's brilliant. Thank you for sharing. I wasn't going to ask you this, but I was going to ask this a different way, but I'm going to ask it like this. Because you talked about systems, do you find yourself kind of staying out of the chaos, or actually the chaos finding you and you just build your systems while the chaos is going? Like, what's your view and your perspective when the chaos hits?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'd say a lot of the chaos, the biggest part of chaos actually occurs so we have a vertically integrated property management company, and then we have an investment arm. And our property management company manages all of our own properties. No one else's, just our own. But we still have, that's where the heaviest we are with staffing. And that's where the day by day fires, every day there's a multitude of, when you just think when you're managing thousands of units, so you got tenant issues, you got lawsuits and all kinds, there's a lot of chaos going on over there. And I'm proud to say that we've got a chief operating officer that, runs that side of the house, and he has done such a phenomenal job that whereas I would be knee deep into chaos on a regular basis, both my partner and I, to where now it's only the massive fires, and there's not normally, most of the small flames can get put out. It's the ones that grow into the big ones that only make it through the filter system and come to us. And so I'm proud to say that over the last probably 2 years, I've been able to remove myself from the majority of the day-to-day fires. And the only things that make it their way all the way through are just bigger, real conversations. Like you'll find if you run a business for long enough, you'll get involved in different lawsuits, unfortunately. It's the nature of the beast. And, we're involved in a fairly significant sized lawsuit right now. We're the actual one suing the other party on a big property that we own. It's literally like a $15 million lawsuit. So it took a lot to get to that point, but I was not involved until it actually got to, okay, now this is real. This is a big deal. This takes our brain power, our energy, and it's very difficult to actually be able to focus on those big ticket items when you're literally stuck in the trenches dealing with, tenant didn't pay their rent on time, or just little stuff like the refrigerator stopped working, right? And so
Yeah, yeah,
luckily
yeah,
I've been able to remove myself from a lot of that stuff.
yeah. No, that's brilliant. You've been able to get some of your time back. That way you can delegate. They say
Absolutely.
either automate or delegate. That's the way you're gonna have to
Delegate
grow.
and elevate is what
They,
we
that
say. Yeah.
that okay. Excuse me as I write that down. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Delegate and elevate. But one of the things I wanted to ask, and you hit on it because you've talked about your team. You said they're brilliant, and so I think we have a lot of people that are listening. They're early in their journey, or they're looking to level up, and I think they will benefit hearing from you when it came to growing your network and growing like your relationships. What's made the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, you mean from like hiring folks, or you just mean
So
generally speaking?
I'm just talking about your business relationships period. And you can talk any
Yeah,
angle. You
yeah,
can talk about yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, on a multitude of levels. I think just expanding our expertise and talking about it, and we do a lot of sharing of what we do with the world through podcasts and videos and different content, and we've been doing it for over a decade now. That's allowed us to create a reputation and attract the right partners to our business. So raising capital, right? And so just just giving, giving for free, giving back, and trying to help others, and just that by default has allowed us to raise hundreds of millions of dollars of capital over the years. Um, from like a industry standpoint, like I'm very involved in like industry associations that pertain to both parking and to mobile home parks. And I'll give an example of both. Um, uh, Me being involved in that peer group, industry specific for manufactured housing, and getting known, our company being known, having a good reputation. When it was time for us to hire a COO, we wanted someone that had chops, like that literally had grown a huge business inside our space, that aligned with our core values, our belief, our mission, everything that we're about, was the right personality fit, but also had the means and the experience to make it happen. It's very difficult to just because you might be able to pay somebody, especially of that level, to come in your organization, it's very difficult to get them to jump ship and get excited about it, right? And so I think just our reputation and our involvement in the industry allowed us to attract the right person for that role, which has allowed us to compound our growth over the last 2 years that he's been with us. So that was huge. And then on the parking side, our involvement inside of industry and just being known in the industry and staying in tune and being connected has allowed us to create a joint venture partnership that we've now had established for about 2 years, and has allowed us to get access to some of the best parking investments that we, prior to that relationship, hadn't been otherwise able to to get access to, be able to even buy them. Even if we wanted to buy them, they weren't brought to us. It's kind of secretive deals, institutionally owned by big groups. They, a lot of times, they don't want to deal with the public. We're viewed kind of like, no, we're not public trade, but we're in the public eye with a lot of the content we put out. And a lot of times they don't want anything to do with that. They don't want to sell to a group like ours, because they're afraid that literally the word's going to be spread about what it is, what we bought, who sold it to us. And they don't want that. They want it under wraps. And so we've been able to create a pretty amazing relationship our last 2 years that have given us access to the most premier deals. And I can only tie it back to our time in the industry, surrounding ourselves with others within industry, helping the industry out, giving back, participating in association meetings and events and things like that. So it's been huge.
No,
It's like
absolutely, man.
your net worth is your network. It's just who you surround yourself with, right? And so anything we do, we try to find who's been there. So parking example, like someone's been there and done what we want to do. We can either go fumble through it on our own and try to, hack it together, and we'll probably figure it out and make good money. Or we can just go find the couple people, or the one individual that has been at it for 30 years, proven concept. Literally, he's forgotten more than what we've learned, in the space. And so that's what we did in Park. We went and found that individual. He's got all the relationship, all the connections. So now his connections are our connections.
There you go.
His relationships are our relationships. And we basically fast tracked it by 10 years by building that bond and that partnership.
Absolutely. Nope. Relationships is everything in this space. So thank you for answering that question. I mean, that lens and that perspective, I think was super, super helpful for those that's listening. So thank you so much for sharing.
Mhm.
Listen, Mr. Kevin, listen, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe learn about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, you can go find me at our company website, which is investwithsunrise.com. I host my podcast there as well, so you can listen to episodes there. It's about commercial real estate investments. We also have quite a bit of case studies on our website there, where you can see the types of deals we've done, what we're working on. We even got some white papers about parking lot investments or mobile home park investments. If you want to learn more about, kind of the investment thesis and why we do what we do and how we do it. Outside of that, Quentin, I mean, I'm very active on social media. I'd say I'm probably most active on LinkedIn. So, I've got a fairly rare last name, Bupp, Bupp. So just type in my name, Kevin Bupp, and I believe I'm the only one that comes up that's a real estate investor on LinkedIn, and probably all the other social channels as well.
But listen, Mr. Bupp, let me spend some respect on your name, Mr. Bupp. Thank you, sir. I really thank you for your time. I thank you for your story. I thank you for your perspective. We definitely need more people like you in this space that's doing it the way you're doing it, the right way. So again, thank you so much for joining us and giving these pearls of wisdom.
No, thanks for having me, Quentin. It's been a lot of fun being here.
Absolutely. And so everyone else is tuning in. And listen, I know you found value out of this. You can't tell me you didn't. You got value out of this. So make sure you are subscribed. You do not want to miss out on these amazing conversations. So, Mr. Bupp, thank you again. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.